else has said, but I'm Vice President for Social and Professional Advocacy, and in terms of supporting our members, which is part of our strategy, this year, or in November, we had the 2016 Conference Social Work for the 22nd Century, Accelerators and Innovators. It was a very exciting conference. We had a lot of attendees, many wonderful keynote speakers, workshops, presentations. We were delighted with the enormous student presence that we had. Thank you to all of you who brought students, and it was a fantastic event, and many of those workshops and all the keynote speakers are on our website. We encourage you to please take a look. This is our way of offering professional development online for you, for our members, and we really encourage you to access this because it's wonderful material, great stuff for the branches to use for your meetings and for special meetings. So please go to the website. Am I supposed to? Oh, somebody's doing it for me. The other initiative that we started last year that I'm enormously proud of, it's very exciting, is the development of an online certificate course in advanced social work with older adults that we developed in collaboration with the Ontario Telemedicine Network. It's a 6-module course that's offered over 12 weeks. It's allegedly, I would say, each module is 3 hours, but quite honestly, it's a little bit more than that. Each module is presented by very experienced practitioners and academics who develop these courses. The modules are interactive, and last year I think we had 82 participants. This year we had 75. They're highly, we just finished the second offering of the module. We've reached people in very remote areas, but we've also reached people across Canada. So we have had participants from BC and Alberta, I think Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and of course Ontario. So we're very excited about these initiatives. And I think that's all I'm going to be saying about those activities. I just would like a little pump for the Professional Development Fund. Please apply and encourage your colleagues to apply. There are so many things out there. Apply, because we got money, It's like, do it. And there's only 2 answers, yes or no. And also, if you fill out the form correctly, chances are you might get it. Okay, it's now my pleasure, wearing a slightly different hat as chair of the nominating committee, to announce the results of the 2017 elections. I think you know that every year we hold nominations and elections, and half the board kind of turns over. So this year we had elections for the Vice President of Branch Affairs, and I'm delighted that Angela Hovey was elected by acclamation. Angela, please stand up. Angela, stand up. Thank you. And I was re-elected by acclamation my last term on the board as your Vice President for Social and Professional Advocacy, and it's my pleasure to serve. I'm delighted to welcome Nancy Webb, who was elected we have 2 Central Ontario Regional Directors. Nancy, would you please stand up? Welcome. Delighted to welcome back Alison Spirko, re-elected by acclamation for the Northern Regional Director. Alison?
She's not.
I didn't see.
She's not here today.
Oh, she's not here today. She's getting here tomorrow for the meeting, I think. And Lisa Van Heswick, Southeastern Regional Director, elected by acclamation. Lisa, please stand up. And for Southwestern Regional Director, Candace Hanna, elected. Candace? Oh, where are you? Yay! Okay, thank you. And just to let you know, they will be joining Keith Adamson, our president, Rashad Vahed, our treasurer secretary, Christy Heo, Central Ontario Regional Director, our other one, Bonnie Schroeder, Eastern Regional Director, Christina Harrington, Hamilton Niagara Regional Director, Martine Suprenant. Martine, is she here? No, she just had a baby, Zoe. She's just adorable. Okay, so she couldn't be here today. And Daniel Pugh, who I know is here, Daniel, our student director. Right, Daniel? Yeah, yay, oh, wait, okay. That's it. Thank you all very much. I think you all know that every year we have Inspirational Leaders Awards. And this year, was no exception. We always have wonderful inspirational leaders. So this year, the two people who were chosen, Joyce Hamlin from Ottawa and Peter Donahue, now at King University College, at Western University, but lives in KW, so sort of that area, were chosen. And they are both exceptional people with very, very diverse backgrounds. So I do encourage you to go to the website. If you haven't already read about them, do go to our website and look them up, because they're really fantastic people and truly inspirational leaders in very, very different ways. So congratulations again to them. They were honored earlier this year, but we did want to make that announcement.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kathy Farrell, and I'm the Vice President of Branch Affairs. And this is my final report as Vice President of Branch Affairs. I've held that position for 4 years, and I've been very honored to do that. So I'll report to you today on what we've been doing over the past year. There's a map in front of you that shows the branches and the regions across Ontario. We have more than 5,000 members across the province and 15 branches, 11 of which are currently active. So as you can see from your annual report and from this map, the branches stretch from northwestern Ontario, very large geographically, but very small in terms of numbers, to eastern Ontario, to the far corners of southwestern Ontario, and to the geographically small but very densely populated central Ontario. Part of the structure of OASW includes a Council of Branches. And the Council of Branches meets by teleconference 3 times a year so that people can learn from each other, share their successes and their frustrations. In addition to that, there's a face-to-face networking session as well as a face-to-face meeting with the provincial board every year, usually in November. And more the branch teleconferences have become an opportunity for branches who are revitalizing to get support from other branches and to learn about each other's communities. Branches have been engaging with the schools of social work in their communities in a whole variety of different ways. And we found that branches that are gaining in strength are often very well connected to their schools of social work because they can connect with the social workers of tomorrow. So it shows a lot of planning for the future. And some of them are involved in joint research projects. A number of branches have representation on the school councils of their schools. Many of them offer student awards for membership, and a good number of branches plan some joint professional development activities with their schools of social work. One of the achievements that we're particularly proud of over the past year has been to make the branch portal on the OASW website more accessible. The branch portal provides access to all of the resources that have been developed to assist branches in their work. It provides guidelines and templates for most of the activities that branches will take part in, and includes a few videos that describe in detail what the roles of executive positions on the board are. We're finding increasingly that branches are making use of this portal, and that many of the resources that are available through that site, we get feedback from branches that enable us to improve and to update those resources every year. And we're also seeing a rising interest among members for leadership training, so that they can more effectively represent the profession in their communities and also more effectively participate in the leadership of their local branches. Emerging issues are way more complex than they once were, and we're finding that they often require a collaborative approach, both with their regional directors and with the provincial office. And speaking of the provincial office, I just want to say that we're very, very fortunate to have such a responsive team at provincial office, with Rita, Joan, and Jillian always being at the ready to assist individual social workers, branches, and regions with local issues, and to help interpret the landscape for us at a broader level. They bring a very broad provincial perspective to issues that is always helpful when they're contacted. And on a personal note, I'd like to say that I feel very privileged to have held this position for the past 4 years. It's allowed me to talk with social workers from all across the province, to hear what's happening in all of your communities, and to share that with others. And I'd like to thank you for the opportunity, and to wish the Council of Branches and Angela all the very best in the years to come. Thank you.
It's really hard to follow Ellen Sue when the message is, "We got money." And then, my presentation is going to seem about as dry as toast. But I hope you like toast. Anyways, I just want to, go forward and say a couple of things. One of them is that I think what you're hearing today and seeing today in our actions and our responses to what's happening is that vision takes energy. And at two levels, we are thrilled to have a provincial office that we've come to expect a certain level of expertise and attentiveness from them, which sometimes is almost unfair, but they're able to deliver and keep us moving in the right direction. And I feel that in the last 4 or 5 years in which I've been on the board, that we really have had the opportunity to have key strategic priorities that have been led by the board, that has really allowed us to lead our profession and to begin to hold our head even higher as social workers. So behind these two efforts, both of the provincial and the board, there is a group of people that meet on a regular basis that I'd just like to acknowledge. And these are the people who really keep us on a tight knife's edge in terms of our financial processes. So I'd like to start with our Budget, Finance, and Audit Committee. We meet regularly throughout the year. And one of the ways that we get new members is we tell them that the Budget, Finance, Audit Committee puts the social back in social work. And it is a lie. Because after you get in the door, it is all financial statements, new policies, and we get on board in terms of the annual audit of the Provincial Association. But in this effort, and I don't understand why, we've had some incredibly long-standing members that we need to acknowledge, some of whom are here today and some are not. But we really would like to acknowledge the efforts of Sharon Evans, Eric Crowther, and Patrick Fleming, who I believe is here.
And Sharon is too.
And Sharon, where's Sharon hiding? Okay, fantastic. Patrick tries to convince us that back in 2007 when he started, they weren't using an abacus to do accounting. I don't quite believe him, but modern accounting has been fantastic, and we've appreciated the continuity and the voices of wisdom that have come from our long-standing members. At the same time as they step down, we have some new people joining the BFA, including Bonnie Schroeder and Christy Hayos. Back, very, very back row. And as well, we've got continued contribution from Phelim Lambie. Bueller, okay. So again, and not to make this into too much of a commercial, but we have space for 2 more members on the BFA. And just to remind you, we put the social back in social work. My biggest lie yet. This year, the audit process is actually it's in depth. It is exciting, and we have the privilege of working with Greg Short, who has watched the association develop and grow, I believe, since 1994. It's been some time, but in that continuity, what's been important for us is his ability to reflect on how we have grown and how the membership has increased to numbers that we hoped for but didn't quite imagine. And at the end of the day, it's important for us to hear from him that continues to appreciate the tight staffing structure and their confidence in our financial processes and systems. So thank you to the auditor, but also thank you for everybody who makes that process happen smoothly. The second group of people that we need to really acknowledge and thank is our OASW Council of Branches. And over the last couple years, and really through the lens of the BFA committee, we've seen such a strong demonstration of people working to align themselves to the strategic priorities and the hopes for our profession, while also maintaining a local character. And that's probably the toughest part. When you look at that geography of how broad Ontario is and what is and is not present in every single region, you can begin to appreciate the challenge of having a united voice that represents social work, but also having a presence in each local region that speaks to the people who are there. And we see this through the requests that come up through the council branches for funds, and it's a thrill to see how people are moving forward. At the same time, the BFA committee has been appreciative of the increasing transparency that we are expecting and receiving when it comes to budgeting at the branches. And as a board, we do have a fiduciary responsibility. I learned that new word as a treasurer. But we are so conscious of our responsibility of how membership dollars are spent. So again, we thank you, I thank you, and we look forward to the year ahead. So I do not have any inspirational leaders to announce. I have to continue and return to the dry as toast metaphor, because at this point what I need to ask is I'm proposing a motion to approve the audited financial statements for the year ending December 31st, 2016. And I believe I need somebody to second the motion.
I'll second it,
Bonnie Schroeder, thank you. All in favor? Any objections? Abstentions? Thank you very much. The second piece that I need to do is just propose a motion to reappoint J.G. Short as our auditor for 2017. Can I have somebody second that motion? Carolyn Smith. All those in favor? Any conscientious objectors? Any real objectors? Abstentions? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to all of the executive members who really do give an enormous amount of their time, dedication, and expertise to the functioning of the board. So I want to thank each and every single one of you for the work that you've done over the last year. Can I have a motion to receive the executive officers' reports? And please say your name for the recorder. Beatrice, seconded by? Faye. All in favor? Nays? Abstentions? Excellent. Thank you. And now I have the riveting amendment number 1, the OASW bylaw 1, section 7, paragraph 6.